Hi, my name is Mitt Romney, and I'm honored to be able to join you for this discussion with regards to alleviating poverty in our country. The fact that the event is being held in New Orleans is, I think, appropriate because of the number of people whose lives have been so severely affected by the hurricane, and America has rallied to find ways to strengthen New Orleans again. But I want to talk today not just about alleviating poverty through, if you will, sending checks and providing benefits, as important as that is, because of course we do have a responsibility, a common care for humanity that suggests that we should help people to be able to live their lives in a normal and an appropriate way. But I want to talk more about the cycle of poverty and how you break that. And it's something which I've spent time thinking about. I know a lot of people have that are part of the group that's meeting today with you, and I'd love to hear your perspectives. At the beginning of this discussion, I think you have to start with a family. I don't think there's any work that goes on that's more important to the future of America and to the well-being of our families than the work that goes on within the four walls of the American home. Strong families where values are taught, where kids are given educational support, strong families make a huge difference in breaking the cycle of poverty. I also think that there are a lot of terrific families where there's a single mom or, let's say, a grandparent that's raising a child, but the ideal setting for our society at large is where you have the benefit of both a mom and a dad. And at least at the beginning of life, it would be important for us to communicate to our young people that there's value in getting a high school degree and then, if you fall in love, getting married and then having the babies. Because a child that grows up with just a single mom is 4 times more likely to be raised in poverty than a child that has the benefit of a mom and a dad. A child, likewise, that has an absent father is more likely to be poorer than that father was. And so, for those reasons, I think it's important for us as a society to encourage moms and dads in family settings so that we can raise children with the benefit of 2 parents. Now, how do we do that? One is, of course, through the example of those that are leading the nation, leading in schools, leading in states, to communicate to kids that the right decision is to wait until you have babies, until you've gotten married, until you found the person you love and settle down with them. But there's more than that. I think we also have to look at our benefits and make sure we don't have a substantial benefits penalty associated with kids getting married. Because right now, you may well lose housing or food or medical benefits if someone who is pregnant gets married to the father. That's probably something we need to rethink. I'd like to see fathers take responsibility whether or not they become married. Now let's turn to another topic, and that is with regards to education. I think our inner city schools in many cities around the country are failing our kids and not providing them with the skills they'll need to be successful in life. I actually think that's the greatest civil rights issue of our generation, which is the failure of inner city schools to provide for minority kids the kind of education they need. How do you fix that? Well, that's a big topic, and I spent a lot of time as the governor of Massachusetts working on that. We made, I think, some big strides there. I think we cut the the percentage of by which African American kids fell below our white kids on our statewide exam. We cut that from a 40% gap to about a 20% gap, so we made some improvements. But I'd like to pay our better teachers more money and evaluate how well they're doing. I'd like to see more school choice. We have charter schools in some of our major cities in our state. I think they make a real difference. I also believe that insisting on parental involvement in schools is very important, supporting a child through homework, through the discipline program, and so forth. So education, I think, is another of the major keys that we have. Jobs. No question but that the alleviation of poverty is also associated with helping people find good jobs and keeping a robust and strong economy. And that doesn't mean closing off our borders with other countries. It means opening our borders and finding opportunities for our various employers to sell goods and services and technologies around the world. And that can help provide additional jobs for us. We need to provide the kind of support to help people who don't have jobs find them. So child care and job training is all part of the mix. Finally, let me just note that with regards to caring for those that are currently poor, that health care is one of the most important and oftentimes overlooked elements of helping alleviate poverty and providing for needed support for those that are in poverty. We, of course, have Medicaid, but it has a lot of rules and guidelines, and it leaves a lot of people out. we found a way in our state to get everybody in our state private, market-based insurance, not expanding Medicaid. That wasn't the key. The key was to find a way to get everybody private insurance, which was affordable and which was portable. And if they couldn't afford it, if they were poor, we helped them buy it. But by virtue of everyone having insurance, it means they get good primary care, preventative care. It keeps them from a setting where they have chronic conditions that can become acute conditions, and chronic health problems, and acute health problems, of course, can also lock people in a cycle of permanent poverty. So those are at least some of the thoughts that I've had with regards to alleviating poverty. There are many, many more, but I know you have other people to listen to tonight. I'd love to hear from you and hear what you've learned from this conference that you're having, and I look forward to hearing more. Thanks so much.